Not just this morning, but in the last 30 minutes. Looking good. Stop would be 580, 480. $1.25 of risk. DCTH. Welcome, Abdul and Mark. Okay. All right. Back over here. And continue to look at these opportunities. Mike. Solo. 500,000 volume. Just popped on news 16 minutes ago. Oh, it's a buyout, I believe. Merge. Teva buying Electromechanica. Okay. All right, that's just a buyout. So never mind on that. GMVD was average, so 700%. D. It's not much of a pivotal move, but it is 700% RVol today. GMVD up 45% on 700% RVol. Good morning, Abdul. GMVD up 700%. No, up 45% on 700% RVol, on 7x RVol, 600%. So, but it's not really over particular pivot point. Well, let's see, 7 million. This spike here was 4.5 million. This spike here was 15 million. 7 million should do 21 mil by the end of the day. Higher than this. $6 million. Popped it, and this one was 6 million. Okay, so this is going to be a very high volume day on GMVD. So yeah, it's a possible, it's a possible 1 minute, but it's cheap. So it's not going to get institutional backing. GMVD, it can't, accredited investors who give their money to hedge funds and institutions, under the premise that the fucking thing has to be over $1. Probably $5, maybe even 10, most, depending on the hedge fund and the institution. So there's no way anybody's going to really GMVD is not going to get a huge push here except from retail, but it is a 1.5 mil float, so that's pretty cool. And it's already turned the float like a few times this morning with 7 mil volume. So low float GMVD, it has potential for the 1 minute, okay? And you'd want to put your stop at like 20, safely just do 23, okay? 23 cents stop on GMVD if you get in GMVD. All right. Let's keep going here. GMVD on the radar. MVD, Son M, Sing, Skykes. Bit of volume. Skykes up 18% on quite a bit of volume. It is, or is it is earnings? Earnings this night, yesterday. Yeah, this is earnings related, and from after hours yesterday, up 18%. Cheap stock with the same similar institutional backing issues. Let's get over 390 to be a pivotal breakout, and in fact, it hit that in pre-market. So this is a good potential. What's the float? 31 mil. It's only done 7 mil, which is good. No, Skykes only 1.3 mil, but it normally does 167,000. But on, like, for instance, this day, it did 52 mil. Today, it's projected to do 5 mil. So that puts it at a significance level of not really significant enough. Okay, but I'll keep it on watch in case for some reason it goes wild and nothing else does, But it's very doubtful that it would hold, or it's 31 mil float, which is it is smallish, but we're looking for 5 mil, under 10 mil, ideally under 20 mil for sure. So, like, for example, SONM with 19 mil, DCTH with 7 mil, GMVD with 1.5 mil, TSHA, from the other day, it did super well. Has a 35 mil float, so you never know. Float 31 mil on Skykes. Keep an eye on Skykes. Psych. Skykes. Skykes and this no. TTOO. Get TOO. Okay, let's take a look at that. How much time we got before the market opens? Okay, 19 minutes. All right. Just continues to move up. Yesterday was an entry day, really. I think I might have just mentioned that in passing today. It's reclaim of the 5. But stock. This morning it's doing 20 mil volume, which would put it at about maybe 70 mil by end of day. Very insignificant day. So that's probably not going to hold this level. It's not enough demand to possibly, to break it out. But keep an eye on it, I suppose. Tito Tulsa, TLSA, typically very low volume. You should have a very in this kind of like holding in a run. Tiziana Life Sciences, and in the past, it's such an iffy stock to be in. Hey, it's an opportunity. TLSA, can follow that if it does something great. I guess I'll put it on my watch list, my radar here, with the intention of getting rid of it if I find something better. This morning, DCTH, GMVD, TSHA, SONM, Go EV. Okay, I think they reported earnings. Let me see. Okay, they reported earnings. They're only up. Go EV, they're only up 3%, so it's not very significant. They've traded 1.6 mil in pre. They normally do 38 mil, so it's very low volume. We skip it. Skykes, we already looked at. CTM's on the radar. Solo is a buyout. Cosm up 4.5% on 100% RVol. All right, we'll take a quick look at that, but that may complete our list of opportunities this morning. Yeah, that's not interesting. Let's take a quick gander at Market Chameleon. Tabs of mine here. And maybe not. All right. By the way, if any of you are interested in learning more about trading and you haven't already taken my market mastery video lessons, here you go. Here's the link. It just happened to be on one of my tabs, so I might as well drop it. Now, okay, so it could be in this one. All right, Market Chameleon. Here we come. Good morning, everybody. And pre-market. Sometimes the Market Chameleon will give me one or two tickers that, for whatever reason, we're not showing. Also, Trading View, I have a little screener here as well. Refresh. And we've got DCTH, Tulsa, GMVD, RCRT. See, there's one. SONM, Skype, CTM, WLDS, and Tisha. So we got two here. RCRT. Make sure you have multiple platforms and multiple systems for your scans, because for whatever reason, some platforms just don't give you the result. Okay, RCRT. It says 1.6 mil pre-market volume. Okay, that's a ton of volume, but it's a penny stock, and also so it won't have institutional backing, and also it typically does a very low volume, 73,000 shares average. Today it's projected to do about 5 mil, and this spike here was 130 mil, so it's not significant. No on RCRT. WLDS, wearable devices, up just a tiny bit, 12%, but it's also penny stock. Nice high ADR, but what a fader, and huge volatility, unuseful volatility as a swing trader. Well, useful if you get all out. It's basically a scalp type of stock. Only up a little bit, not a pivot break. Could get to 148 in pre. It hit 148 in pre. Also would not be a pivot break. It's already above the 200, and it hasn't been acting well. I mean, all in all, I don't like it at all. Okay, DCTH, GRND, no, not enough volume. DCTH, SOX, the short one? That's strange. Soxol, and then there's SOX. NVIDIA, up 1.2%, not really significant. PBR, maybe. Okay, let's pull it up. We have time. What's the volume? Volume is PBR. PBR is 800,000. Its average is much higher. Okay, no, never mind. PBR, SPXQ. Okay, none of the rest of them qualify. And most active over here, TTO, Telsa, DCTH, eBet, but that's down. Although I do want to know about things that are down as well. In case that's a fall from grace pattern. It's not, because it hasn't been graceful. You see, the last several months. All right, that's funny. GMVD, TMF. That's I think a short term yields. Tisha, RCRT, which is not up really, not up. Yeah, let's go by how much they're up. Sort by that column. DCTH, Tulsa, GMVD, RCRT, SONM, Skykes, Wilds, CTM, Tisha, Tattoo, TTO, UVIX. No, that's the VIX. Nicola, we're already in that, so we're up on that this morning. Great. I think we've got everything, you guys. Let me know if I missed anything. That's it. We are hot to trot here. We've got everything on radar, and I even have the 30-year yield on radar because I'm just watching that in case I need to short, in case I need to hedge my bonds. But okay. I picked up a little, I believe it was DCTH. Yeah, I picked up a little DCTH. It's above VWAP and holding. Stop at 480 would be where you put your stop. I got a half position. Willing to double it up and convert to a full on the open. This is the one with like the highest volume profile. It's above $5. It's got, at least it's got a lot of things in our favor. So DCTH is the most worthy. That doesn't mean it's the most probable, but it's the most worthy opportunity this morning. And then we have GMVD holding VWAP, but pretty sketchy action. Sonam, Tulsa, Titiana Sciences, and then Skykes. I'm going to call it Skykes. So when I say Skykes, I'm talking about SCYX. That's it. Let's see. Let's go to the decliners and see if there's anything huge over there. 2 million SE, SIA Systems, SIA Limited. Down big and after hours. It's not really a fall from grace though, because it's already was already bearish prior to this point based on prior earnings. So more institutions will be getting out. I'm sure it's like the last straw. Second earnings down in a row. Blah blah blah. A lot of institutions are going to start dumping, and it's very heavily allocated by institutions, and so it's going to take more than one day to get out, right? So this could be something that goes down for a couple of days. SE. So I'm going to get a small position on that short in pre-market and add to it. Always go for that really sharp back bounce just under VWAP as your stop, whatever number rounds. 52. So 52 stop, it's at like 46. So that's $6 a risk. All right, so I'm going to go for half of my full position, which would be shares sell, pre-market. Even though it's going to open any minute here, should I just wait 9 minutes? I'm just going to have too many things I'm going to be tracking, so no, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to get half now, and I'll either cut or I'll add, depending on how it moves around in the first minute. But I'm also watching that DCTH to potentially double up on the 1 minute opening candle as well. SE, so we'll put that on the bottom here. That's a short on the day. It's not really a fall from grace pattern, but it's so heavily allocated by institutions that it should provide some dumpage, some further dumpage. And if not, then I cut it. That's the way trading goes, folks. You're either right or you're wrong, and there's no way to not be wrong, and there's no way to be right. There's no way to be right. There's no way to not be wrong. And you're going to be either right or wrong. So you got to know how to trade. You can't just be a great what do they call that? Fortune teller. But all of that helps. Everything you can do, for forecasting power, understanding patterns, understanding the market, understanding everything informs your decisions better than someone who doesn't know everything you know. Why didn't it short? That's strange. I must have gotten away from me already. Let's see. I think I just got into the wrong position. What was that? Okay. Something for like $1. Maybe I filled the wrong order. Oh, I did. Okay. Shoot. That's what I just did. Well, I sold 1/12 of my Tisha just now. I was holding out for $2.60, but that's okay. So the market opens in 6 minutes. We're on the ball. Every opportunity covered for the day. Everything that's hot is on screen here. And just a quick look out of curiosity of how oil is doing. I would like to look at that. Interesting. All right, and then energy itself, staples, right in the middle, utilities. On the low end, that's some sign of some strength on the market. The Qs, obviously. This morning, the market. We got some possibly lifting data on the market, but today's probably going to mostly doji because tomorrow at 2 p.m. will be some minutes from the Fed. Okay, we have 5 minutes until the open. Today could just, it could be, all in this kind of range down here around the 50 moving average, down or up. Really, you can't say one way or the other because we're still digesting. The market is still digesting that huge run. Healthcare, biotech, a lot of stuff in health has been really strong. Oh, what's the biotech the biotech ETF? Anybody know? X something biotech. XBI. There's a Labu 3X version of the same. It's been sideways. Labu. Oh, this one is. This SP 500 had a similar day, just like the Qs. Somewhat stronger than the Qs, which is not great for the market because the Qs are growth and SPY includes a lot of value. So we'd rather see growth be doing stronger than value. SP 500. We want to see the Qs do better than SP 500 to actually have faith in any kind of rally. The other thing I wanted to look at was the VIX. Right. VIX at 15.5 this morning, a little bit elevated. Closed at like almost 15, 14.95 yesterday. Looks like we're just not able to get below 15 for a while here. This could be the bottom. This could, I don't know, the way the VIX is situated, it needs to get healthy and improve fast because it could so easily, the market, the VIX could just so easily start to take off from here. And that would mean the market's going to dump, especially growth. So hopefully today's data, which came out, it is correcting a little bit of that. And tomorrow, the Fed's minutes may finally give it the stability that we're looking for. I believe that's what's going to happen too. Again, it's okay if I'm wrong. All right, we've got 2.5 minutes until the market opens. I will be, actively trading my positions at the open. So you need to pay attention to your own trades. All the opportunities have been given. You got to be in control of your trading. I'll say what I can say, but smoke them if you got them. Yeehaw! Back over to Twitter. Sometimes I see Twitter, X. Sometimes I see some interesting tweets, another ticker that I want to take a look at. And 1 minute, 15 seconds to the market open. Skykes failing before the open. Tisha possibly as well. And DCTH holding. It's a good sign from DCTH. Get a little bit more zoom out of these. All right, 30 seconds. Hello, RJ. Better late than never. Well, DCTH, I'm going to dial you right in. We're watching DCTH for a 1 minute breakout, potentially even pre-market high breakout, DCTH. Stop at on DCTH 480. All right, here comes the first 60 seconds. All right, the horses are running. All right, oh, DCTH in the lead. I'm kidding. It would be kind of entertaining if that's the way we did the first 60 seconds of every day. Oh, that's funny. And they're off. All right, looks like we're getting some pullback low demarcations during this first minute. Meanwhile, it looks like the market's staying healthy. This one, Tisha, that we have is holding. All right, I believe I should be able to just do something here. Tisha. It's Taisha, by the way, or Taisha. Taisha. Okay, Skykes coming up. Skykes popping. Tulsa. The first minute's over. The first minute's over. And Tulsa is an entry. TLSA. Coming up from the rear. It's about 10 cents a risk. On TLSA. Okay, DCTH is starting to perk. Eye on it. Looking for the 1 minute breakout. I think that was it. Okay, it immediately reversed, taking advantage of whoever tried to do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get out of my DCTH pre-market position and let it put in a bottom now. Tulsa not following through, also faked out. So I might be getting out of that as well. What's it going to do? Is it halting? Okay, so it's equalizing. GMVD coming up to, I'd go for the pre-market shelf break though on that 27 cents. Wait for the 27 cent level on GMVD. Skykes was perking but couldn't make it over pre-market pivot 344. 44. SC ready to double up on that short. That is working to pin it to the wall. There we go. Move that up to shorts. We're almost back to break even on Evlov. And there goes Tisha. I'm going to get all out on Tisha as it continues to make new lows. But be watching that for recapitulation over 250 on Tisha. That might, be worthwhile. Evlov, yeah, I need to look at Evlov, which is Evolve or something. I like calling it Evlov. You know why. Projected low volume today, a little bit of a pullback. I've taken half my profits already, so it's a runner, a fully subsidized trade. Depending on how it flows today, I might get rid of it. All right, here comes DCTH. Reclaiming. Seemingly strongly. Okay, we're back in DCTH. Tulsa put in a lower low. That would have been an exit. I missed it, but you guys should know to get out. TLSA. SIA Limited pushing down more. I mean, this is the institutional dump, second ER disappointment in a row. There's no way, clients are going to keep their money with you if you continue to keep them in products like that. So institutions are going to dump SE for the next few days. It's not a fall from grace because it was already kind of negative, but it's a fall from the good graces of the market. We also have on the fall from grace here. Hewlett Packard, HPQ. Let's take a look. Nah, not really. Let's go by percent change here, shall we? Not much. All right, there goes GMVD, the pivot break at 27 cents. Remember what I said? 27 cents, GMVD. Oh, BRCC giving back some gains from yesterday. Got to take a look at the daily on this. Strong dump, but lower volume. So projected. So overall, it's projected that it's not a full dump day. It's just a day to test your faith, BRCC. And it may stay that way and hang out all day like that, and then at the end of the day, possibly get bought up a little bit. But do keep an eye on it in case it goes against you. Skykes, nada. GMVD, who's in? That's the entry on GMVD, and now it's almost at 27.5, almost at 28. Who's in? GMVD. FNGR with a second day of minor pullback. Let's take a look at our runner on that. That's just trade progression. That's just a good standard oscillation. Nothing alarming. All right, hit 29 cents at one point. Carlson hit 29 cents at one point. Those are nice round numbers where you can take off little teeny bits. If I believe GMVD we said is not a swing trade, or is it? I don't remember. Let me see. We talked about it in pre. Actually, it looks pretty good as a swing trade. It looks like it's going to be a run to the 200 type trade, which is at $2 right now. And so it could get there in less than a month, maybe even a few weeks, if it's going to go. PSFE. Yeah. Now, why didn't that come up on our radar? It was definitely up in pre. It pisses me off, probably because of a volume issue. 400,000 average volume. Current volume on it is what? Just short of that. So it's a little weak. It's a little weak. It's closing in on 100% RVol in the first half an hour, and that's good in the first 10, 15 minutes here. And that's good. That'll be a good spot. So we know it'll do 300 by the end of the day. It's projecting 800% by the end of the day here on my indicator, but that's falling. That number is linear. It's not. It's the best. The best reading is a little bit more as the market has progressed. Hour in, I believe it's probably going to do about 300% RVol today. It's right on the cusp. In the cusp. It's kind of a nice spot to get in. But the 200 is so close, and I think that's going to be its first stopping point, by the way, 1530. But sometimes it just blasts through the 200, CTH pulling back to our stop, which is the low of currently the low of the day, except I sized to 480. But still, the line in the sand should be the low of the day break on DCTH. And 2020 rule. 20 seconds and 20 cents. Case probably less. Just give it some wiggle. Okay, GMVD flying. Who's got that GMVD 27-cent entry? It's now at 33 cents. We're talking about a $2 price target. So for a swing trade. So you should be up 22% already. Mike is in. I believe Carl is in. GMVD. Never know where these things are going to come from. Excuse me. And there goes GMVD, 35 cents. Now up 29.7% on your entry. And actually hit 35.55. So that's 32 cents, 32%. Up 32% on your entry on GMVD. A big pullback, but I just leave it. This is a great swing trade. Unless it fails out on us, but it's definitely worthwhile. I wouldn't sell on weakness here because that's just pullback. You'd sell on strength if you sell anything at key levels, and buckle down for the swing trade. putting your stop obviously at break even after this much of a move. Or if you've already taken out, let's say, half at some point. Look, the significant point to take 5% out at least was at 31 cent. That was the previous pre-market high. That was a key level. Now you would do that again if after this strong pullback, if after it gets back up to 35.55, that's the high of the day. So like 34.95 or 34.9 or 35 cents, you'd take out another 5%. You just chip away, depending on the action on a stock. Different action triggers different rule sets, and like sort of semi strategies. So different price action is what gives you the insight to gravitate towards one particular rule set or not. There is not a rule set that fits all. That'd be like taking bear spray into a shark cage. They're different animals, and you got to have the right tools for the particular animal. GMVD was such a strong pullback. I have to check the volume on that. It could end up bouncing at your entry, which is 27 cents. But definitely defend your entry, and hopefully you've taken some minor profits at those important key levels, like 5% exits at 31 cents. And then you should be set and ready to take more at 35 cents. And then depending on if you were just playing it as a day trade, some of you might be I'm not even going to hold it overnight. I'm just going to day trade this puppy. Well, in that case, then you use the ladder strategy, and you use key levels, like 28 cents to take off 5 to 15%, 29 cents Thursday, and you're probably almost all out already, and you got all the way to the top if you were day trading it. Hey, it did bounce at the moment at 28 cents. It's useful for the swing trade. And de-risk a bit on DCTH, which has broken the lows. De-risking 25%. And if it doesn't pick up, selling all. It was on a re-entry. DCTH with some pretty ugly price action after the open. Pre-market, it looked a lot more controlled than that. But that's what happens with these low floats. 7 million float is that it's a total animal change, when the float gets rotated that many times. It's done 29 million volume. So it's just playing patty cake. You're giving existing shares back and forth to each other, round and round and round. The Telsa entry would be at 96 cents roughly. So if Telsa, TLSA, could get all the way back up to 96 cents, like right around there, it's the high of the day, then that'd be an entry. Before that, I really wouldn't trust it. And even when you get in, it could be a fake out. I mean, a lot of the recent pops ended up in moves that went lower, that broke down. So a lot of the breakouts are snagging you and pulling you down. Have to have it confirm and break an important pivot. At minimum, you need to get in. And then even when you're in, you'd have to be extremely defensive. Like 10% of what I have in DCTH on that little smidge of strength right there. Just working the position. We're at our stop and probably rejecting, not reclaiming. GMVD definitely putting you through the ringer. It's not great price action. This is not normal. Like, in other words, you should already know that this has less likelihood of working out. It's not following model behavior. Like, that's too much of a pullback. You're almost at your break even. You could just let it go. Always get back in. That's just too much of a pullback. And I did think it's going to bounce at 27. You do. So, depending on if you can get in and out, if you're not under PDT restriction, which you shouldn't be day trading if you are, you can just get back in if things start moving again. There's better opportunities on Earth, than that kind of price action. Okay, the market pulled back, so this is, I don't know from here what it will do, but it looks like it's put in a high and a low so far, and we are coming up on the top of the hour. So it might just doji from here. It's just dojiing at the top of yesterday's range, which is actually pretty good. Let's take a look at the health of all the sectors and get a better idea here. So it looks like inflationaries are moving down. That includes rates. So financials, industrials, and base materials, and energy and oil, those are all moving down. And similarly, staples and value are moving down, which is a good sign for growth. And indeed, tech is kind of holding the open. What was I about to say? And I wanted to look at discretionary. Okay. But, I know what I was going to say. But the VIX, not lightening up too easily right now. It's still at 15.7, but hey, it's in the 15s. That's good. It didn't break out of 16. But it could easily do that. That is the resistance level. That is the low pre-market, 16. So if we break 16 on the VIX, that's not good for the market. However, all those other signs, those are deflationary signs. So that's great, for combating the inflation. It's possible that while all the deflationaries reacted to the deflationary data point this morning, that growth itself, money being pushed into particular growth stocks again, is waiting until the Fed minutes tomorrow at 2 p.m. That could be what's happening today. So we'll doji on the Qs, we'll deflate across all the deflationaries. And interestingly enough, staples and defensives going down. So nobody's really worried about hedging, so we should see the VIX start to increase and gold increase, because where else are they going to put the money? If they're not putting it into defensives, they got to store it somewhere. So it's either in cash which we'd see the dollar strengthening. Where is the dollar on my chart here? Here. There it is. Yeah, the dollar is strengthening, as a matter of fact. So we're getting move into cash and gold, both of them, but not into defensives. So there's a desire to stay limber and sharp and be ready to push into growth, is what it looks like. And that could be happening all day today as well as tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, things could deteriorate today, and a lot of things can switch up. It's a very reactive market above 15 VIX, and then of course above 20. It's back to day trading. We don't swing trade above 20 unless it's an alley trade, a back alley trade. All right, on that note, I mean, that's the way today's going to be, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to go have breakfast. Thank you, everybody. Have a good morning. Wishing you the best, and I'll see you back in the group in a few minutes. Everybody talk amongst yourselves back in the group. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully that orientated you for the day, and you appreciated that. And I'll see you back in the group. Let's chat in there. All right, have a good one.